Hello, is this Crystal?
It is not. What can I help you with?
This is Kale Brock, right?
This is his office, correct.
Okay, I just received an email from him telling me I have court on April 13th. And what's weird is I received an email on April 2nd that Kale Brock was removing himself from my case. But when I was in court on March
Okay,
3rd,
what is your name?
William Dunn,
Okay.
it was weird. I was at court. I was like, the letter's dated March 26th, and I was in court with him last March 30th, and he didn't tell me anything about removing himself from the case. But then April 2nd, I get something in the mail from your office, and it's stamped by Michelle Castillo up at the 3rd Judicial Court, and it's saying that Kel's removing himself from the case.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you can be at the courthouse early so you can talk with Mr. Brock about that documentation, okay?
Okay. All right. Yeah,
All right,
that's,
thank you.
all right. God bless you.
Yeah. I'll let him know that you received that and you would like to speak to him about
Yeah,
it, okay?
because the email, you sent me an email this morning that says if I have any questions to message you back. And so, who's this again? Is this
Yeah.
Judy? Is this Judy?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, because your name's on the letter too.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll let Mr. Brock if you'd like to speak to him about that document. So if you can be there early just so he can go over it and answer any questions you have, okay?
Yeah, because it says outbound patient on it, and I don't know. I feel like you guys aren't being very forthcoming. You know, it says in the email if I have any questions, but you're not really answering any questions.
Yeah, the attorney is the one that has to answer the majority of your questions as far as legal questions and what that document means. So if you could be at the courthouse early on Monday so you can talk with him, okay?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, thank you.
God bless you, Judy. Oh, God, it doesn't. Mr. Dunn, this email serves to inform you that you are scheduled to appear at the 3rd Judicial Court on Monday, April 13th, 2026 at 9 a.m. Please let us know if you have any questions. Kind regards, Brock Law Ltd. Phone 775-993-9683. Info at Brock Law, Nevada. And it's 9:43 a.m. 1 hour ago. Today's April 10th, Friday, 2026. Court Rule 46. And Kale Brock. Now they're telling me to talk to him on Monday. And it's from Michelle Castillo. That is some deceptive tactics. Yeah, hopefully Kale Brock repents. Keeps his job, repents. This doesn't get marked on his record and he just stops treating people like this. They're not. Oh, wait. Here's the Commission on Judicial Discipline letter. March 23rd. And I was at court on the 30th. I suspect somebody went through this house while I was up at court. Snuck in underneath the camera on the garage, got inside this house to read this court letter. While I was driving up Riverboat to the gas station on March 30th on my way to court, Lyon County Sheriff Department drove by me on Riverboat towards the direction I was coming from. And just last Saturday, somebody did a wellness call on my mother, and Officer Beck, Lyon County Nevada Sheriff Deputy Beck, comes out here, and he's knocking on the door like crazy. My mother called me up and told me it was because a neighbor around here did a wellness check on Susan, and we're concerned they haven't seen him in 2 weeks. And when Susan asked him on the phone, Beck, well, who called it in? He said, I can't tell you. And I told the disciplinary, don't I don't want anyone in trouble in this. I don't want anybody. Just tell whoever's doing this to stop. Stop corrupting the courts. Stop with the deceptive communication. It says right on the letter that I'm incompetent for trial. John Schlegelmilch sent my father a letter in 2016, the same court that I'm going to now, same judge at the Donald John Trump Justice Complex. They have the middle name omitted. And it's Donald J. Trump Justice Complex in Urrington, Nevada. Because Camille Vecchiarelli recused this case out of bias originally to Lori Ann Matthews in friendly courts. And the neighbor across the street that put this restraining order on me to begin with has the same middle name as Lori Ann Matthews, who did the Troy Driver case, lied about him committing suicide. He murdered Naomi Irion, but turns out Naomi Irion's father, Herb Irion, and the name Herb has the same meaning as Harvey, and that's where the third judicial court is on Harvey Lane. Herb Irion's a diplomat from South Africa to the Ukraine. So something's dirty going on and being done to American citizens, and they covered it up and had Troy Driver murdered in jail and said it was a suicide, faked a suicide letter. Lori Ann Matthews was covering that case and had him arraigned down at the third judicial just like they're doing. And Julianne Bice at 2030 Lonnie Lane has the same middle name as Lori Ann Matthews, and Gene Malone at the house across the street at 2030 Lonnie Lane is related to the public guardian of Lyon County, Nevada, Shayla C. Holmes, and I had a Class C felony pressed on me. And Camille Vecchiarelli accused this case out of bias. They are out to just falsely imprison people, all sorts of shit, false evidence on them, all sorts of shit. To cover up something really nasty and just needs to stop in the courts. They all need to keep their jobs. They have all this corrupt, now they know what to look for in the courts for anybody that gets hired on. That we were watching you, we know, did you have an agenda to corrupt the, we know every fucking dirty trick in the book now, we're not having this anymore. But Schlegelmilch wrote my father, who was a jury member for the state of Nevada, versus Ryan Coddington in 2016 for a murder trial once again. And he told my father in the judicial letter that he has great respect and admires my father for him being a jury. That is jury tampering somehow. If it's not the judge doing that, tampering. This is what Kale Brock gave back to me because I gave him the original letter that has Schlegelmilch telling my father that he admires him. With great respect, third judicial dated September 9th to William F. Dunn, Francis Dunn. See, they don't even put the full name on there. They just omit, they just initialize the names. Judge John Schlegelmilch at the Donald John Trump Judicial Complex. Dear Mr. Dunn, on behalf of the court, I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation for your service as a juror in State of Nevada versus Ryan Jill Coddington. Your conscious consideration of the challenging and sensitive issues presented to you in this case proves that our constitutional system of trial by our peers works to ensure fair and unbiased decisions are handed out of our courts. Abraham Lincoln once said that a jury is the common sense of a common people. The only way we have justice is through the judicial system in the United States. Justice really means fairness. It means that if you're charged with a crime, you can appear in front of a jury of your peers who will judge the facts fairly as a citizen of this state. A jury of your peers means a mix of people from all walks of life using their common sense to do justice. It is one of the most important civic responsibilities of being a United States citizen. I appreciate the fact that you're responding to your summons as a juror to willing to do your job. And no man may buy or sell in Revelation 13, 16 through 18 means they're forbidding work in America to anybody that speaks up on corruption in the courts. Forbidding relationships, forcing relationships and forbidding marriages, relationships, you name it. There's corruption in the justice courts, and it's because John Paul Schlegelmilch, there was a pope named John Paul II, and now there's a pope from America, from Chicago, Illinois, named Robert Francis. Robert Francis, my middle name's Francis, Prevost. from Chicago, Illinois, is now Pope Leo XIV at the Vatican. That's what controls the courts right now in America. It's very corrupt. Shayla C. Holmes is actually from Chicago, worked in Chicago. Our judicial system only works because citizens like you are interested, concerned, and willing to make whatever arrangements are necessary in their personal lives to be able to perform this invaluable service. Your presence on the jury was a great asset in this case. Once again, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the court and the people of Lyon County for your willingness to serve as a juror and to give so freely of your time and abilities. I admire you for your commitment to this case with great respect. Honorable John P., and he just, and once again, initializes his name, Schlegelmilch, District Court Judge, 3rd Judicial. The original letter from September 9th, 2016. Kale Brock may not even shown this to the judge to remind him, look here, you sent his father, who's now fucking dead. William Francis Dunn died the day before Thanksgiving in 2021 on November 24th. W. Dunn, attorney-client, docs in a yellow envelope. J.D. Vance, vice president, standing next to Pope Francis the day he died in 2025, April 21st, and he's wearing a yellow tie. Our Vice President of the United States of America standing next to the Pope on Easter Sunday, Easter Monday, wearing a yellow tie. That is what corrupting the courts right now in America. God, got a shitload of restraining orders. I got like 6, 7 restraining orders here. All of them approved by Camille Vecchiarelli, but then recuses out of bias to Fernley Courts. Here it is. Hold on, I just saw it. Case number 25CR2763G, and they bumped it to a 3F. The state of Nevada versus William Francis Dunn IV. Kale Brock told me on December 16, 2025, that I was in trouble with Lori Ann Matthews when they forwarded arraignment. Then Kale Brock has to be meet up at Camille Vecchiarelli's court March 7th on a Wednesday, and they even signed me in at the court. But then I'm outside the court having a cigarette, and Kale Brock decides to just have our meeting out in the parking lot. So they have me go in after they signed me in at the court, and he tells me that now he's in trouble. That is all deceptive practices from Kale. He needs to repent, keep his job, stop being treacherous, deceptive tactics. Pursuant to the provisions of Nevada Revised Statutes 1.230, and inasmuch as there may be actual or implied bias, the undersigned judge of Dayton Township Justice Court, County of Lyon, State of Nevada, does hereby recuse herself from the above entitled matter. It is hereby ordered that Judge Lori, and they leave off the middle name, which is Lori Ann Matthews, the same middle name as the plaintiff across the street, Julianne Bice, 2030 Lonnie Lane. Judge Lori Matthews, or Mattheus, be and hereby appointed to preside over the above entitled matter. The case is hereby transferred to Canal Township Justice Court for further proceedings. The next court date will be held at 595 Silver Lace Boulevard, Fernley, Nevada on October 28th, 2025 at 8 a.m. Day of this 15th day of October 2025, Camille Vecchiarelli. Yeah, Judy, Crystal McDade, and Judy Castaneda signed over Crystal McDade's name on this withdrawal notice from Kale Brock. The criminal complaint was filed on August 7, 2025, charging the defendant with violation of extended order against stalking or harassment, a Category C felony. Counsel was appointed to represent the defendant in the above-mentioned matter on or about October 15, 2025. The defendant's matter was transferred from the Dayton Justice Court to Canal Justice Court following the entry of the recusal and order of appointment. They don't bother to mention the judge's name there, which is Camille Vaccarelli, to Lorianne Matthews. The defendant appeared before the Canal Justice Court on October 28, 2025. The defendant appeared before the Canal Justice Court for a status hearing on or about December 16, 2025, and the matter was bound over to the District Court for competency proceedings. The defendant has been seen before the District Court on January 5th, 2026, January 26, 2026, February 9th, 2026, and March 2nd, 2026, and then March 30th. And while I was there on the 30th, Kale Brock didn't tell me he removed himself from the case, and that letter of withdrawal is dated March 26, 4 days before Kale Brock met with me last at the courthouse at their Judicial. The defendant has been deemed incompetent, and a recommendation for outpatient treatment has been made by providers. The defendant is scheduled to appear before the court on March 30th, 2026. Now they're telling me April 13th. The Nevada Supreme Court rule states, Rule 46, withdrawal or change of attorney in action or special proceedings may be changed at any time before judgment or final determination as follows: upon consent of the attorney, approved by the client, upon order of the court or judge thereof, on the application of the attorney or the client. After judgment or final determination, an attorney may withdraw as attorney of record at any time upon the attorney's filing a withdrawal with or without the client's consent. The Nevada Rules of Professional Conduct states, Rule 116, declining or terminating represent, except as it's stated in paragraph, lawyers shall not represent a client so they're telling me I can still talk to Kale Brock on Monday after he removed himself from the case. The representation will result in violation of the rules of professional conduct or other law. So he's removed himself from the case, but they're telling me I can still talk to him in court. This is all weird. The lawyer's physical or mental condition materially impairs the lawyer's ability to represent the client or the lawyer's discharge, except as stated in paragraph, a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if the client persists in the course of action involving the lawyer's services that the lawyer reasonably believes is criminal or fraudulent. The client has used the lawyer's service to perpetuate a crime or fraud. This is all dirty, just made up. Now they're being shady. They're not answering any of my questions on the phone. And I guess they'll gaslight the video I upload to YouTube, and they'll say that I broke the dude, there's no defense here. That I client fucking privacy or whatever. Here it is. Conclusion. Accordingly, counsel respectfully request the court enter an order withdrawing Brock law as counsel has been there telling me to meet him on Monday after he's withdrawn himself. And they said this is all notarized and everything. Defendant has been deemed incompetent. They're saying I'm incompetent, and a recommendation for outpatient treatment has been made by providers.